muscles of the legs and the back. The result was that he could not directly stand from the prostration position, and he would rest first for a while in between, and then he would stand up. So the people who visited him and accepted Islam at his hands during that period of life, they thought this was the normal practice, and they started doing it. And Hazrat Imam Shafi, because he lived in that region, he accepted it as a normal practice. Hazrat Imam Hanafi lived in a region where Sahaba of all ages who belonged to Medina, young and old, they had seen our Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam doing different things at different ages, and they knew that this was a compromised position and this was a real permanent position. So their practice was normal. Now similarly, many another difference has already been solved in the tradition, in the practices by some intelligent scholars. But about the tradition, you can't say the same. In practice, no lies have entered, no lies, no concoctions, no fabrications have found their way. But in the spoken word, even that has happened. We know of many a unfortunate person who concocted thousands of traditions and attributed them to Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and who was ultimately caught. And it is put on record that such and such person at such and such age did this. And we know positively that the Jewish converts, those among them who were hypocrites, who did not believe in Islam and only came to the fold of Islam to destroy its values and disrupt the Muslim rank and file, they also invented and concocted traditions, and they introduced the Jewish views and thoughts and the Jewish history and the Jewish superstitions into Islam. And they knew that they would be all accepted if Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was supposed to be the author of those things. So they mercilessly attributed these wrong things to Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So the traditions differ too, like the practice, but the practice, of course, has a much higher value and level of authenticity than the spoken word. Yet there are Muslim scholars who have done so much work on the sifting of the spoken word that the majority of hazards have been removed from the way. And what is left after that sifting is most likely dependable than not. In case of Hazrat Imam Bukhari, hundreds of thousands of traditions were rejected, and only about 6,000 were accepted by him as dependable. And some of them also have a flavor foreign to Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And there are signs that some Jewish traditions and superstitions might have entered there too. But there are just a few places like that. In most cases, they are very dependable traditions, and so also the other books of Sahih Sita, that is the 6 dependable books, their authors have done a lot of work in sifting the right from the wrong, and whatever is left to us is dependable most often. You don't want to ask a question? No? So you have retired from this?
Somebody else should
okay.
ask the question first, then next time I say right.
Okay, yes. We're just testing. Yes, please, Dr. Sahib.
Huzur, we know of an incident in the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ when he was talking to an old lady and told her that we won't find any old people in the heaven. And thinking it that he has remarked about her, she started crying. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ consoled her and told her that everybody will be young in the heaven. Huzur, do you recall any other incidents in the life of Holy Prophet which would reflect on his humorous nature, sir?
Hazrat sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it according to traditions, sometimes used to play with children and cut some jokes and name them by way of fondling, give them a kunya, as was the custom of the Arabs. So one little boy was called the father of the little sparrow by Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was so proud of that kunya. So that was done in a life merriment mood. So Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam's holy wives, Ummahatul Mu'mineen, they also speak of such incidents where Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke lightly on some subject and people smiled and laughed. So there are certain incidents, I think I read some essay on this, either in Al-Furqan or somewhere, but I can write to, or you can write to Rabba and to collect all these. Either I think it was in Furqan or in Tashizul Izhan, maybe Tashizul Izhan. And his retorts are also recorded. Yes, please. Also is known to have laughed on certain jokes which were cut in his presence, or some interesting incidents which automatically happened. So he of course had a sense of humor. That is quite normal and natural. It had to be there. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Huzur, I wanted to ask a question about the name of God. As I know that the God did not reveal His Zati names, Allah, to any other religion except Islam. All were the Sifati name in other religions, but not the Zati name, Zati Ism.
How do you know this? How do you know this?
I have read in the Tafsir Kabir, the Hazrat Muslim Maud have emphasized.
You must have misunderstood that to some extent at least, because in the same Tafsir Kabir you would read the mention about Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which was revealed to Hazrat Solomon as well as to many others. So if the name Allah was not revealed before, how could Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim contain the name Allah, and yet it was revealed to Hazrat Solomon? وَإِنَّهُ Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That letter which he wrote to Malka Saba carried the first verse Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and the Holy Quran records this fact. So that is a final verdict.
Huzur, I have read that chapter, but the Allah name was not used. The God, other names were used, which were all Sifati names.
Now the Holy Quran says Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Yes, from the Islam it started.
No, it doesn't say that. It says Hazrat Sulaiman, when he wrote a letter to Malka Saba, and she read it, the first verse that was written in that letter was Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.